Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I'm good. I hope everyone's well. I took the day off yesterday. I don't even think I loaded a short, but I was still working. Um, I was doing some research on some things, and it has to do with this whole, the Jake Barber, the Psionics situation, and I've been researching the gateway process. I did an episode recently on that, but I was reading through it, and it was kind of I guess, a boring episode. Because who wants to watch a guy reading some document that was declassified in 2003? So I get it. But the contents of the document is what's important, and basically what that document was saying. And here's the kicker on that, right? So they deleted or they didn't delete, but when they released it in 2003, they left out one of the most important pages, which was page 25. So page 25 was missing, right? So they released it. Page 25 was missing for whatever reason, which I came to find out later. Um, it's because they didn't want us to have the capability of doing this, because this gateway process thing is very, very powerful. And apparently this kind of coincides with the psionics. Apparently, we're all equipped to do this type of thing. Um, and apparently, they didn't want us to know that. I mean, that's how it appears. Now this is just conjecture from page. One of the main pages missing, but it's still. I mean, the whole gist of it was that we can control our reality through our consciousness, and with practice and some dedication and determination, through meditation, visualization, visualization, and for me personally, uh, I throw in a little bit of prayer. Um, but uh, basically, this whole existence, right? So I'm going to say it like this: all things and places in time and space are connected. And I want you to think about that, because this is a fact. All things in time and space are connected. And there's another quote I want to tell you. Um, One guy said, "Is it the brain that produces consciousness, or is it consciousness that produces the brain?" Um, and then I watched this other gentleman. He's foreign. I think he was Italian, PhD. But anyway, and he was saying that everybody's experience that they're having, this phenomenon that's going on right now, this reality, this awareness, everything every waking moment, it's produced through consciousness, and that we're all quantum level beings. That each cell, right, every cell in your body, has a little bit of the whole in it, you know, like kind of like as above, so below. Like it's like the drop of water in the ocean. You know what I mean? That's how every cell in our body is. But every cell in our body knows what its job is for the whole. You know what I mean? And that this is everything, like our mind, our consciousness, our thoughts. This is all quantum level stuff. It has to do with. So when you hear about things like building a quantum computer, he says, you can never really do it, because even if you build it and it has the switches on or off, well, if it's quantum, it can be either on or off, and it's neither until you look at it. But he says, but in the breakdown of it, it still turns out to be a classical computer because at the end of the day, it's still on or off, you know. But yeah, it has a bunch more memory, but it'll never be able to replace us. And that we're playing with fire by creating AI the way that we are. Um, and it was a very interesting podcast. I'm going to leave a link for it in the description. It was something I never seen before. I'm going to go find it because I want you guys to really watch this thing. It was very, very eye opening. Um, but the simple fact that there's people out there that are able to pilot these craft with their mind. I'm still fighting to grasp that, you know. And how long have we known that that's possible? How long has the government known that that's possible? You know, was Stephen Greer really the first one to do it? I wonder. You know, it's something I wonder. And I don't think that they have the ability to use these craft as weapons. For some reason, I feel like that's not possible. Thank God. But one of the things I want to speak on is this the gateway process thing. It really kind of threw me for a loop because when I did it, um, listen, I saw some strange things, and I experienced some strange things. As I said before in other episodes, you know, I was interacting with, I don't even know if they were people. Um, I'm not sure how they looked. Um, I'm trying to remember. Like I remember seeing them. I feel like they weren't human beings. Now, was this a product of my imagination? Was it just a dream? That's very well possible. But it's just strange that this happened. It coincided when I was doing the Gateway tapes. Um, and supposedly, you know, when you do these, they even tell you, you know, don't go to the advanced ones right away. That you can actually damage your consciousness, your mind. You know, and that kind of scared me a little bit. Like, what exactly are we playing with here? You know, because they're playing binaural beats in each ear. So, and there's a difference between the frequencies. And what your brain does is it finds that middle frequency, and that's the one that it translates to. And when your brain is at that frequency of, I forget what hertz it is, that's whenever you can experience these psychic visions, out of body experiences, and actually um, doing things outside of space and time, actually existing outside space and time. And in my case, I feel like that happened and that I was interacting with beings who I had a deep connection with, that I thought that I knew very well, that I felt like we were on some type of level together. You know, like whenever your best friend or your wife or your husband or whatever, like that feeling. That's how I felt towards these people. You know, as if they were family. But I don't know. When I woke up, these people don't exist in real life. I don't know who these people. Who were they? Or why did I feel so connected to them? That's all very interesting. So then I started getting into the Urantia um, papers. So the Urantia papers, I'll leave a link in the description for that too. In the Urantia papers, they say that, it talks about like when you die and you go to these different planets. I mean, when I say planets, it's like planes of existence, more or less. Kind of like Earth, but I don't know if it's an actual planet or if it's like a plane of existence. Because like when I used to read the Bhagavad Gita, it would speak about planets and stuff. And but the way that they spoke about planets was more like a plane of existence, as opposed to a round planet going around a sun. You know what I mean? So, and the Urantia papers talks about we go through levels. Like we start out here, you know, this is like the base material level, but when we die, we go up to the next level. And each level, we're becoming more evolved until we become, celestial. I don't know, maybe some of us might even become angelic beings. These answer papers are really interesting and kind of crazy, to say the least. So I'm reading these, and I'm reading the gateway process documents, and I'm thinking about the phenomenon that's going on with Jake Barber and that crew, with and even the CE5 stuff, and but what I'm thinking about is, why is it that some of us can accept this reality, but then when I try to share this with people close to me, a lot of them are very dismissive, and not only dismissive but critical, and I'm not saying like I buy into every single thing I see or hear on YouTube, but uh, you know when things ring true to me, I'll research it. And if it turns out to be BS, it turns out to be BS. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, like these people who channel, a month ago, I thought they were all, scammers. Now I don't know if that's true anymore. After the experiences I've had, you know, messing around with these gateway tapes and stuff, maybe they are able to channel these beings. Who am I to say? And then, like, 6 months ago, well, Stephen Greer kind of had me sold on the CE5, but for a long time I thought that was a joke too. And it turns out that's legit. Once Chris Bledsoe came out and they strapped the wires to his head on Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, you know, and the one dude on that show, he was skeptical, But then when he seen that happen and the lights is coming through the trees as the wires is around Chris Bledsoe's head, you gotta ask, like, yo, what's going on here? Um, and it's opening me up to a lot of things that in the past I thought was BS. But the thing is, they're trying to disclose this in a controlled way, because I feel like once it comes out, once it's disclosed, all the illusions that we've created in our society, not we, but they, have created in our society, to that they use to control. In other words, that, like, money, that this paper that we chase, and you have to have it to survive, and they use that as a control, and it's like we're selling years of our life for this paper that in all reality is not really worth anything except for the value of the paper it's printed on. And yet we're chasing it, and we're like worshiping this shit like it's a god or something. Like, it's a system of control, and it's a human construct. Like, it doesn't even really exist. It's an abstract construct of control. It's paper, dude. And nowadays, it's not even paper. It's digits on a computer. So, like, it's not really tangible. Now, yeah, you can use it to get goods and pay for things, and like this house I live in and stuff. But at the end of the day, in all actuality, we're all just playing a game right here. And then it got me thinking about governments and law enforcement groups, and educational organizations and establishments, like, university and structured education. And then you get into religion and the different religions, and it's all constructs for control. And, like, I feel like when this is disclosed and this comes out and contact is made, where the whole world knows that there's these higher beings, and I'm telling you, there is. When that happens, these control structures are these constructs that they use to control us are going to crumble. We're no longer going to look to the government for protection and authority because they're not able to protect us, and because they can't do anything to those beings, and they can't protect us from those beings. So it's like, the control tools that they use, these constructs, are gonna these illusions of control are gonna evaporate. And then what's gonna happen? I wonder. Now this is the thing, like I feel like they know that society at large, the world community at large is not ready for that type of um paradigm shifting change. So like, would we, devolve into an anarchist type of world? I wonder sometimes. And the economy's not, from what I've been researching, the economy's not doing too well right now. Um, there's signs that there may be a crash coming. That we're in a bubble. We're in this economic bubble right now, and it's coinciding with this disclosure thing going on. And on top of that, it's the conflicts on the other side of the planet are happening. So all these things are happening at once, and I just wonder. And I have kids, man, so I worry a little bit. And this is the other thing: when you're in that state of fear, it takes you out of that living a balanced life. Being conscious, being able to create your future the way you want it because you live in this fear. And it almost feels like that's what they want with the news. And you're scared. And, this is happening, this is burning, these people are warring. And it's like, and then they like to divide. They like to have us at each other's throats. And it's us too. It's not just them imposing these things on us. It's our flaws coming to the surface. These things that we used to have these things to survive back when we were living in caves and tribes and hunter gatherers. These types of tribal, territorial, uh, violent type of, you know, this need to dominate and control. Back when we were hunter gatherers, that was necessary. But now we're at a point where we need to evolve. We need to get away from the animalistic vibes and habits and behaviors. We got to get away from that. We've got to evolve now. We've got to look past our differences. We got to understand that each and every one of us is an individual. Each and every one of us were born into this world the same way. Each and every one of us bleed the same way. And each and every one of us is going to die, you know. And death isn't a bad thing, by the way. I know that. Somebody said it's like taking off a tight pair of shoes when you die. You just shed this body like some old clothes, man, and you're on to the next level. And I mean, that's true. I'm not going to BS you. I'm telling you, I know that that's true. I'm past, you know, thinking, or believing. I'm past that. I'm telling you, I know. I do. I know that death is nothing more than shedding this body like an old pair of clothes, man. It's like taking off a tight pair of shoes. You're on to the next level, you know. But for our future on this planet, we need to evolve. We need to evolve past the tribal, us them type of mentality. We got to get over the fear and the wanting to dominate. And there's enough food to feed everybody on this planet. There's enough to go around. you know there's no reason why 1% of the population owns 50% of the stocks. The top 1% of the population owns 50% of the stocks. And the bottom 50% own 1% of the stocks. This is a true statistic. I'm just telling you, that's a true statistic. And I'm not a communist. I'm not saying that, but there's got to be a better way. There's got to be some type of way, man. You know, the way the economy was just recently, it might still be that way. But the way that they were borrowing money, you could borrow money and the rate of interest was less than inflation. So you could borrow money just to make money. And I don't want to get into the political aspect. I just want to talk about the core beliefs and behaviors of the world we live in and the people that are around us. How do we get over the divisions? And would a disclosure of these beings create a society where we could evolve past these old ways of thinking, old ways of behaving, these get away from these archetypes. You know what I mean? So like, these we take on these characteristics. It's like we're playing roles. Some people are like playing a role. You know what I mean? Like, it's strange how people do that. Like, they did an experiment. I believe it was Stanford, maybe, and they put a group of students and they gave them authority over these other group of students just to see what would happen. And don't you know, the group of students that had the authority, every time they started to like abuse the students that they had authority over, every time they take on these archetypes of like authoritarians, and it's the same thing with people in authority in our society. Now there's exceptions, of course there's exceptions, but regularly that's the way it is. And you just look around the world, you'll see it, and then you look at like politicians also, they take on like an archetype. They say things during the campaign, and then when they get in office, it's all you never hear of it again. Kind of like the drone thing. Oh yeah, when I get in office, I'm gonna tell you the next day what's going on with the drone. The government don't want to tell you, and I don't know why, because they should. But when I get in office, I'm gonna tell you. And what did he do? Oh, it was hobbyists. It was not the enemy. He said the same exact thing they said. It's hilarious. And this is what I'm talking about, and full disclosure change this, you know what I mean? And what's going on with Antarctica? So Antarctica plays a role in this, and I'm not sure what it is, but I've been told, I've read things, I've seen things. There's something about Antarctica that's going to come out, and I think when it does come out, it's going to blow people's mind. In the past, I thought this was BS, but upon further review, I think it might be true that Antarctica is playing a role in this. That there may be maybe a breakaway society down there, or just aliens are down there. Maybe there's just NHI down there. Something is in Antarctica. There's been whistleblowers that came out that said there's directed energy weapons down there. There's military officers that were stationed down there. They saw UFOs flying around down there. When you try to look it up on Google Maps, the place where they found an egg and supposedly found an NHI being in a cave, that area, when you try to look at it on Google, that's the only area down there that's blurry. You can't look at it. Every other place is crystal clear. You can zoom in. That particular spot, on Google Maps is blurry. Now, what is that about? You know, and like the reason why I'm thinking that this is true is because all my life I've heard these rumblings about this is going to happen. This is going to happen. They're planning on this. They're going to get rid of money. It's going to become a cashless society. You know, they're going to chip us. You know, all these crazy things. And I'm going to say this: a lot of them came true. You know, they didn't need to chip us. They just gave us smartphones. We chipped ourselves. That's the funny thing. People don't even realize it. We chipped ourselves by smartphones. They didn't even have to chip us. And it's funny because that's not the only thing, you know. Yeah, there's still cash, but on the whole, it's basically all digital. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick show. Um, let's check out some footage real quick. Check this out. You guys see it? Blinking right there. Oh, what the hell? Almost looks like spotlights. Like something's above the clouds. Look at that. See that? It's like there's something above the clouds right there. Wow. What the hell is going on, dude? Posted this, Sandra? Shout out to her. What the hell was that? What's going on, man? In the skies. Like seriously. I mean, I feel like there's groups CE5 and all over the nation, man, and they're creating this phenomenon, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. That's what I think. I think people know cat's out of the bag that you can psychically link up with these beings and bring them in, and I think that's what's happening worldwide. I think it's cash.
Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Then it goes to say in Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? This is why the side of your head's called a temple, because the kingdom of God is within you. Christians aren't even following the word of Jesus, they're following the word of the church. Jesus tells you to meditate.
Excuse
When
me.
you pray, enter into the inner chamber and shut the door. The inner chamber is the inner part of your brain, your mind. Shutting the door is turning off the mind. Jesus says, take no thought 5 times in Matthew chapter 6, because you have 5 senses. Jesus is telling you to turn off the 5 senses and meditate. When you turn off the body and thought, other aspects of your consciousness can open up and connect with God. Jesus was a mystic telling you to go within yourself, not a God to worship. The church is the biggest scam. No.
Learn. We didn't learn from last time. We did it. So, we didn't learn. Comprehension. So we didn't learn. We didn't learn from last time. We did it. So, we didn't learn. Comprehension.
All that. Isn't that amazing? That was just a couple days ago. New York. Wow. Amazing.
That's straight up, you guys. I told you. Holy moly! Oh my god!
Oh, there goes flowing. Here comes out. Blowing my eardrums out. Wow. Is that real?
See, I told you.
Is that deep sea? Is that what that is? Is that deep sea? May I?
Average American that they're going to find a hard time believing any of it. But I saw documents that were labeled classification top secret, and we compartmentalized the compartment that was put into. It was called MAGIC, M-A-J-I-C, which told me that UFOs are real, which I already knew. I'd seen one. But this went farther than that. It told me that they were extraterrestrial in origin, that there were 4 different extraterrestrial species or races visiting this Earth, and that they had actually entered into an agreement with the United States government with one of these species of alien beings to exchange technology, and it told me all the projects that was underneath this. Project Red Light was actually the testing of extraterrestrial craft. Project Plato was a diplomatic project. Pounce was the recovery of technology. Pluto was the application of that technology to our own secret space program, not the public space program. There are 2 different space programs. One is what the public gets to see, which is overseen by NASA. And the other one is a secret space program that nobody gets to see, which is really overseen by the Navy Department under specialized, compartmentalized black projects. For the average American,
Bill Cooper, he wrote "Behold the Pale Horse," but also he got into a shootout with authorities in his driveway and died. I believe that was like in '99 or 2000, around that time. Just funny how these guys. This is what happens. They deny, discredit, and if that doesn't work, unalive you.
They are trapping your soul in the earth. You do not experience the external world. What you feel is electrical impulses on your nervous system. What you visually see is light entering the eyes and the image produced at the back of the brain. You're experiencing a simulation produced by your brain and central nervous system, which means that the body is the earth. You are God, generator, operator, destroyer, the mind, soul, and body. The mind's the projector, the soul's the observer, and the body is the dimension. This body is allowing your soul to operate in this physical dimension. It's a vehicle. They programmed your mind to believe that you are only a physical being to trap your mind and soul in this physical world, in this physical body. But you are way more than just this physical body. The only way to escape is through astral projection. The Matrix is not physical. It's a limiting belief system that lowers our state of consciousness, programmed our minds to be attached to the physical world through money, clothes, and fame. To keep our minds locked in the external reality, you must go within to expand your consciousness to astral project, to activate your light body just like the ancients were depicting. You can literally become a god and travel these other dimensions other than this physical world. That's why these Sumerian gods depicted themselves with 2 faces.
Is that why they classified the Gateway process papers for so long? Is that why that document didn't come out till 2003? Because it was telling us that? It's crazy. Oh, yeah, that's a hobbyist. That's the FAA doing research. Wow, look at that. That's a good one. Wow. Crazy, man. That's crazy. I'd have to say that's legit. I don't think that's AI. I don't think that's hobbyists. I don't think that's the FAA doing research. Because if it's the FAA, where's the green and blue lights, man? Or the green and red lights? The navigation lights. Where they at? If that's FAA doing research, where's their navigation lights? It just makes no sense. Shout out to Chris Manhattan. Oh no, that's the music. No, that's Chris Manhattan. Shout out to him for posting this, man. That's crazy. It's a good one. Chris Manhattan.
أسفل الشاشة أمامكم هذا العاجل وصلنا الأمس.
That's AI, dude. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. That's the show for today. And I want to end with this. I want you to think about this. Okay, what that guy was saying about how this is a simulation. We have these 5 senses, and this is how we experience reality. And that, this is a simulation, and that you have to go within to kind of escape the matrix. And it kind of coincides with the things we've heard from some of these physicists that believe this, that we are living in a simulation. And also want you to think about the gateway process and its relation into the UAP phenomenon and possibly this drone incursion. Is this worldwide groups doing CE5 and bringing these craft in? Is this the catastrophic disclosure that the government was so worried about? Let's just think about these. Till next time, I'll see you. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you like the show, please hit the like and subscribe. This is John C's Truth. I'm out.